We are here at the site of the memorial cross to the people who died in the wreck of the Brig St. John in October of 1849. These were people from North Clare and from Galway who were fleeing the ravages of the great Irish famine. And in the course of trying to sail here and get into the port of Boston, they were caught in a nor'easter storm that led the Brig St. John to crash on the Grampus Ledge, not too far from where we are. There were a number of survivors, but most of the passengers died. And the people here in Cohasset took care of the survivors, but also did their best to bury the bodies that were washed ashore with dignity. They were buried in this cemetery in a common plot. It's not marked now, but it is on that side of the cemetery. In 1914, the local AOH chapter here in Cohasset, along with all of the Massachusetts AOH chapters, both the men's AOH and the ladies AOH, were able to complete their campaign to raise money to build a memorial cross to the victims of the Brig St. John wreck. They came here on May 30th, 1914 for the dedication of the cross. The ceremony drew about 12,000 people, including the famous Senator David I. Walsh. He was governor actually at the time. He was the son of Irish immigrants, and he gave a very long and powerful oration about the immigrant struggles of the Irish coming to the United States. In addition, you had all the national officers of the AOH come to the dedication. It seems that the idea of erecting this cross may have been somewhat inspired by the erection of the cross at Grosse Ile in Canada, because that had happened 5 years earlier. Each year now, on the anniversary, the week of the anniversary of the wreck of the Brig St. John, the AOH commemorates the event by having a memorial mass at the local Catholic church, a lecture about the famine, and then a laying of a wreath here at the foot of the Brig St. John cross. The sculptor, whose name was Patrick Tagnay, lived in nearby Quincy, and he had done many important gravestone monuments in his career. Many monuments to be seen in various Quincy cemeteries. But he certainly did produce a cross that contains a lot of the typical symbolism of the era of the Celtic art revival, with the interlacing that you can see on the cross, and of course the motifs of the AOH with the shaking hands and the shamrocks around it. And then on the other side they have notation of the fact that the ladies AOH was very involved in the whole project of erecting this cross and raising funds for it. At one point, the Cohasset group approached the national AOH for some money to subsidize their campaign, but they were turned down. I think that AOH, the national AOH, was more concerned with giving money to the John Barry Memorial in Washington. So this is a local effort.